What's up guys, my name is Luke from Archer & Wood Style Consultancy and Pre-Owned Menswear Store. Today we're going to talk about a piece of clothing I've been seeing more and more of over the last few months. It's a very simple item, it's a very classic item, and it's one I think every wardrobe could do with. So I actually did a video about it on Instagram the other day and it was really popular, so I thought I'd do a more in-depth one to go through some various looks and sort of things I like about it and the things I'd pair it with, and also some brands as well. So what is the item? It's a simple navy blazer with contrast or brass buttons. I actually had one of these when I was about 9 years old. My family were going for one of those horrible photo shoots, the things they did in the 90s with the backdrops and everyone's got like a real bowl cut, and it's a bad memory. My nan was a seamstress and she worked at a tailor's, and instead of the sort of traditional brass buttons with a military emblem, or when you're a young kid it's like normally an anchor and some rope and stuff, she sewed on some skull and crossbone ones. So that was really cool. And that made me warm to it a lot more. Still, over the years, I still always associate it with a sort of preppy look, a very formal look. Nothing that really fitted into my wardrobe. Until recently, where I've owned a few of them in the past. I've sold some through the stores. I've absolutely loved them. The ones I've had have had a different silhouette to them, a nice soft shoulder, and there's something you can wear a lot more casual, as we'll see in the looks a little bit later on. But even the more structured ones I've really come around to. But anyway, let's have a look at the first sort of images. So the first one we'll start off with is Austin Butler. This was about, I think it was a year ago. He's paired it here with some really lovely light denim, some boots, and a simple white t-shirt. And this is the sort of classic way to tailor it down. It makes the denim and the white t-shirt look way more formal. So it's a perfect sort of smart casual outfit. This has a really nice strong shoulder to it. It's got some lovely peak lapels, which these will all have, I believe. And it's just really cool. I think this is Gucci, this jacket. But yeah, just with some simple jeans and a t-shirt, this can really just add something different to a look. It's a nice way of wearing tailoring, and the contrast buttons just add something a little bit different, which I really like. Now on a similar vein, we've got Wyman here. He's wearing a softer shoulder version, which personally I'm a fan of, because with something like this, you can wear it almost anywhere. With a strong shoulder, for me personally, I feel just too formal to be just rocking around in a pub or something. So this really works for me. He's tucked in with a kind of off-white or cream t-shirt and darker denim and some loafers. The loafers really work. I had a jacket from Kamishita like this and I wore it all the time in a similar sort of way, just denim and loafers, and I really was a big fan of that. Here we have Wong, and he's wearing a bit more of a structured one. He's a big lover of vintage, and so I'm led to believe this would be a vintage jacket. But just look at the size of those lapels. They go right up to basically your shoulder. He's paired it here with a denim shirt, which again, adding denim with this just really works well. The play of a formal piece of tailoring and a real workhorse of material as denim just goes so well together. He's got some like high-waisted cargo pants on and a really cool belt on as well. I think this whole outfit just works so nicely. You've got the play of blues and beiges. Just a really cool look. A bit more of a creative look here from Garfield. So he's paired this with this sort of silky blouse kind of thing. Again, some high-waisted, slightly flared jeans and some, I can't really tell exactly what shoes he's got on, but they're like boots. And again, a slimmer shoulder, a much more like modern design, so it's not a vintage jacket. It's got some structure to that shoulder, as I said, but yeah, a much more modern design. It was interesting how we've gone from like quite casual to a bit more workweary and denim, and now to like high fashion as well. It just shows the versatility of it already. And again, with that versatility here, you can see with this, it's a much more preppier look, a much more formal look, and it works for all ages as well. This isn't something that just someone in their sort of like early 20s to 30s can wear. It's suitable for any age group, which is I just find quite amazing with something like this. This one's got quite a different sort of vibe to it. A nice Breton t-shirt, some really lovely trousers and some loafers, but just the changing of the hue and material of that jacket just gives it something a little bit different. So it shows you don't always have to wear in that sort of deep dark navy. It doesn't have to be really like traditional. You can play around with materials and colours a little bit. And then here it's paired with a shirt and a tie. It's always good to have some contrast in trousers. You don't really want to be pairing this with navy trousers too much. It's nice to have just something a little bit different to break it up. The tie looks great with it. I love this whole look in general. Like, the colours blend so well. The tie looks great. A huge fan of this fit. And then here's Ethan again with I think this is like might be a black version So he's got some white or off-white trousers, some black loafers and white socks. It looks great. I really love this. We've seen this could be really great for the daytime, but pairing it with some light trousers and some black loafers, it's a great like sort of evening out cocktails outfit. So I'm a huge fan of that. And then with this look here, it shows you don't have to have brass buttons. Some people it can be really off-putting. So having just a contrast button like either a mother of pearl button or a white button on a navy jacket can work just as good. This is just a lovely outfit overall. The pocket square is a nice addition. The contrast buttons on the denim shirt as well. There's a lot of really interesting aspects to this, and it's yeah, just a really nice outfit. And lastly, we've got this mirror selfie. So I don't actually know who the taker is, but again, high-waisted trousers in a lighter grey paired with a mid-tone of blue and then the darker blue of the blazer. Soft shoulders, really nice big lapels. This is the beauty of the softer shoulders for me, especially if you get it in a nice soft material. That it just flows. It doesn't look like a blazer. It just looks like you wear a cardigan, and I just really like that. The colour palette as a whole here is really nice. So in terms of brands, my recommendations would be Drake's. Ultimately, they've got some really lovely versions of this. They also have some in some other colours. We actually have a dark brown one in store, so I've stuck with navy for the purpose of this, but actually there are other colours that you can get it in. So a darker brown is quite a good one. It's got some white contrast buttons. I'll be doing a video on that in the future. So Drake's is great, especially for this more traditional version of it. Husband's Paris do a really beautiful, more structured version, or they have done in the past, where it's that traditional Husband's 70s style, long torso, sharp shoulders, and it's a fantastic jacket. Something very different to the more softer versions of it. Turnbull and ASOS are also a really great option. Kamoshita as well is one that I mentioned before that I had. I absolutely loved it. I'll try and pop a photo up of the one we had. Sadly, we sold it. That was really beautiful. So I do really appreciate that these brands are all on the more expensive side of things. It isn't really easy to find this kind of jacket new for a really affordable price. I haven't seen a brand say like Reese do one previously. If you do have a recommendation, do drop it in the comments. But I do think with the popularity of it, we'll start to see it creep in more. This jacket's been around for donkey's years, but I am just seeing it more and more worn out and about. So I think we may see some in the more affordable bracket soon. So my advice on the more affordable side of things would be to go pre-owned on all of those brands. Have a search on eBay, check out our store obviously, Depop, all those places. But the vintage market is where there are quite a few. So if you're into your vintage, check out Yves Saint Laurent. Jaeger is another one I've been recommended before, and Ralph Lauren. Keep tabs on them. You can get some really good deals on them. The only thing I'd say, they will be a little bit boxier, which if it works for you, that's great, but you might want to take it to a tailor's just for some alterations. But anyway, guys, they're my recommendations. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also comment if you have any recommendations for brands, be it new or vintage. Do remember to like and subscribe because it really helps me reach new audiences and grow the channel. Do check out Archerwood's for pre and menswear, and I also offer a style consultancy service, so anything from a one-on-one online session to a full in-person shopping service. So yeah, check out archerandwoods.com for that. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Cheers.